Hello. So today we're continuing on with our study of vertebrates. We have learned about fish and we've learned about frogs or amphibians. Um, and today we are learning about birds. So I just kind of like us to start off. Normally we might observe a bird if we were together, but since we're virtual, we have these wonderful virtual platforms to look at. And I'm just going to show a short clip of some birds that somebody recorded. So this is 8 hours of birds. Just observe their movement and so pay attention to like their beaks. So we can see in this minute that we've watched, there's been 3 different kinds of birds that have shown up to eat this food. So every bird has a beak, and that beak shape, of course, depends on the kind of bird it is, but also what they eat. This one looks like it has maybe a slightly shorter beak. It's still kind of pointy. Noticing, I'm observing how the birds are hopping along, and then of course flying off. So there's just a little bit of some birds. Oh, it's weird when I share my screen. Now I don't know where that went. I might like to stop that because of the sound. Okay, there we go. So now we're going to talk specifically about the external parts of the bird, as well as some characteristics. So birds are warm-blooded animals. That means that their body temperature always stays the same. Like humans, like mammals, we're warm-blooded. Fish and amphibians and reptiles are cold-blooded animals. So hold on just a second. Okay. Here we go. So here we just have an image of a bird. This is a blue jay. Did you know that there are around 18,000 different species of birds in the world? Previously, like just recently, people thought that there was only about 10,000 species of birds. So it's actually almost twice as many as we thought there were. And yeah, so here we see the bird. We're noticing these different parts of the bird. And we're going to talk about those specifically. So the head is the first. So this, of course, all up here is the head. The head includes the eyes, the beak, the ears, and is attached by to the body with a with a flexible neck. So that's our definition here for the head. And all this. So on your Padlet, you will have the parts of the bird, and the whole head will be colored red. The whole head will be colored red. And we talked a little bit about the beak. So this, of course, is the beak. Got it colored in here. So the beak is the mouth. It is shaped based on the food that that particular bird eats. It helps them to retrieve food. So if you think about it, like, you know, they're longer and they're pointy. If you see birds have to kind of maybe dig or poke around to grab their food, whereas we humans, we don't really need to do that. We just bring it right to our mouth and eat it. We don't have to use our mouth to pick things up. We have hands. All right. So just kind of why these animals have these parts like they do. All right, the auriculars. So the auriculars is the space of right below the eye. It's these very special feathers. And kind of if you ever like notice on a bird, like sometimes they'll be different colored. They almost kind of look like the bird has cheeks. So the auriculars are the feathers under the eye. These feathers cover the ears. So the birds do have ears. If you ever like hear them, they kind of like, or observing them, they kind of cock their head. We can't really see their ears because of these feathers that cover and protect them. The auriculars. Next, we have the wings. So the wings are obviously very important. We humans have limbs, we have arms, right? And we can grab and pick things up. So these are the bird's limbs in here. And of course, they use these to fly. The wings. Next, we have the breast, kind of like the chest. And if you notice, like on birds, the chest is rounded, and there's a very special reason that the breast is rounded. The breast is rounded to help the bird cut the air and fly. So it's for those aerodynamics. As they're flying, it helps them cut through that air and helps them be more efficient in their flying. The breast. Okay. Then we have the tail. So the tail is covered in very special feathers. The tail helps the bird to steer and navigate as it flies. So it's very important, obviously, that, of course, penguins don't fly, but other bird species, and ostriches don't fly, but most other species of birds fly. And so their tail, their breast are very important in helping them efficiently fly and fly well. And then finally, we have the feet, little feet here. And you notice that these feet have claws. Every species of bird only have 2 feet, kind of just like humans, right? We only have 2 feet or less. You can be born. So the feet help the bird to grasp the surface, to hop, okay, and to hop. I'll just say and to hop. We should say the feet have claws that help the bird to grasp the surface and hop or move around. And there we go. So those are the parts of the bird. You can make a book based on the Padlet. So here's our Padlet with our different, those parts of the bird that we just went over. Oh, see, I forgot some words. So it helps them to stand and perch. What a great word, perch on branches. So you can make a booklet of the external parts. There's also, and the Padlet will have some other ideas if you want to research different species of birds in North America or the USA, birds of the rainforest. There's some really cool birds called birds of paradise. So I encourage you, if you want to learn more about birds, you may do that. And then there's also an assignment on the Seesaw that I will show you real quick. I'm in Seesaw here to, okay, I'm gonna save. You can see my library of all my lessons and things. So there's an assignment where there's some fact cards about some general facts, but also some particular facts about certain species of birds that you can listen to or read, and then you can just answer some questions that will like test your comprehension, your understanding, and your remembering of those facts. Please write incomplete sentences. So this is one option of an assignment of a work. Always give you several options so that you can choose. And you, of course, can do more than one. So that's the other intention of this. If, as we learn, there's certain things that may really pique your interest, and you may want to learn everything that you can about it. And that's wonderful. So it's another reason we give several options so that you may have some different ideas of how you can do more work. So enjoy birds, go outside and watch them and listen to them. They're such wonderful, amazing creatures that, I mean, I don't even want to imagine what the world would be like without birds and their beautiful songs. There's something so cheerful about listening to birds chirp in the sunshine that I just love, and maybe you do too. So enjoy, and we'll see you next time.